Hello and welcome to Let's Do More Good, where we focus on having a positive impact on the world around us. So, this is the first video for this channel, and I've really been kicking around this whole start a YouTube channel for a while, and I've thought of a million reasons not to do it. And I'm sure it's a lot of the same reasons that you've probably thought of when you were trying to figure out if you wanted to launch out on some venture or start a business or start a channel. Things like, do I really want to put myself out there? What will people think or say? What if I fail? As time has gone on, I've thought through each of these, and I feel like I've answered each of them at least to my own satisfaction, to the point that like it really makes sense for me to just do this. So here we are, video number one. So for instance, the question of, do I really want to put myself out there? Well, in life, you got to take risks. You got to put yourself out there, whether it's applying for a job or asking your future spouse for a first date. If you don't venture anything, you don't gain anything, right? So you got to put yourself out there and take a risk. And, what will people think or say? Well, you can't live your life based on what people are going to think or what people are going to say, right? I mean, I've observed that the loudest critics are usually the ones that are in the bleachers that are yelling at the people on the field. And then you find out that the people in the bleachers would love to be on the field. Like that's their dream, right? To be on the field, but they find themselves in the bleachers being a critic instead of being on the field and being a participant. Well, I want to get on the field. I want to be a participant. And I can't let people in the bleachers determine, what you can't let people in the bleachers determine what you do, right? And now for the famous, what if I fail? That's the big one, right? So if starting a YouTube channel, if my goal was to have billions of views and make millions of dollars, like what are the chances of that happening? Probably very small, right? I mean, the vast majority of videos on YouTube have almost no views at all. But what if my goals were structured in a way that success was more almost guaranteed? It would just be incumbent on me actually putting in the effort and doing the work. It wasn't necessarily based on the number of views. It was based on how much work and effort I was willing to put into it. And so I said, you know what, if I can structure the goals appropriately, I think this channel can be a success regardless of views or no views. We can be a success here. And so these are my 5 goals for starting a YouTube channel. So goal number 1, I want to help other people in practical ways. That's something that you can do whether you have 0 views or 1 million views. You can do something good for somebody else. You can help them mow their yard. You can help them cut down a tree or do some project around their house that they couldn't do on their own. There's a lot of practical ways that you can help others and do more good, right? So my second goal / reason for starting this channel is I want to build meaningful connections, meaningful relationships. When you think about it, relationships are really the only thing that matter in life, whether it's your relationship with your spouse or your relationship with your family or your relationship with God, your relationship with the community. These are really the most important things in life. And so I want to build relationships with, a deeper relationship with my son who's behind the camera, or doing things in the community and meeting people and building relationships. There's nothing like helping somebody to really open a door to get to know them better and build a more meaningful relationship. So I want to build meaningful relationships. That's goal number 2. Goal / reason number 3, I want to make a difference in the lives of others. I was at a funeral recently, several months back, and it was of a friend that I'd known for a long time, a couple of decades. And at funerals, people get up there and say nice things about people, but you can tell that this was not like people weren't contriving nice things to say. Like they just kept going on, and it was like just real tangible examples. And some of them I knew, but some of them I didn't even know as it went on and on. And some of them were small things like investing in a family in their neighborhood and spending time with their kids, that just investing in others and just building a strong relationship with the family. And but some of them were big, like taking handicapped children fishing, or even starting a orphanage in Haiti, if you could believe it. Some big things. And as it went on and time went on and the funeral went on and people kept talking, I leaned over and talked to my wife, And I was like, man, what are people going to say about me at my funeral? Like, man, this guy has like, I didn't even know all of this about him. This is unbelievable. It was really inspirational of honestly a life well lived. I left kind of inspired and felt kind of challenged. Like, man, I need to do more. And this guy had invested in others. He had spent time with others. He had built meaningful relationships. He helped people in practical ways. I said, I can do that. I can do more. And so I want to make a difference in the lives of others. So hopefully through this channel we can accomplish that goal. The other reason is, I guess, reason number 4 is I would like to encourage others to have a positive impact on the community around them. So, if someone watches a video and says, oh, let's do more good, I don't know, roll my neighbor's trash out to the street. I can help somebody in the parking lot. I can, there's a lot of things that we can do that are just really practical that can have a positive impact on the world around us. So if anything, if any video I ever made encouraged somebody to do something good for someone else, well then, hey, that would be a success. And it wouldn't take millions of views to accomplish that. It would just take encouraging someone. One of the things that my friend that I was just talking about who has passed would say is he would say, love your neighbor. Love your neighbor. I know that comes from the Bible where Jesus instructs us to love our neighbors ourselves. But the way that he would say it was more of like a call to action, like love your neighbor. And that's one of the reasons why I like the name of this channel, Let's Do More Good, because it's more of like a call to action, like, hey, come on, let's get together, let's do more good. And I hope that this channel can inspire somebody to do something good for someone else. Now, the 5th reason is super practical, right? Because when you're doing something in a small project or you're helping somebody, oftentimes there's costs incurred with that. And so, I've set this, structured this like it's a small business so that any of the costs that I incur in, helping somebody with their, a project, a yard, cutting down a tree, whatever it is, I can write off some of the expenses. So the 5th reason is super practical. And if it wasn't structured like that, then I wouldn't be able to write it off, and I probably hope, hopefully, I'll be able to do more good because it's structured that way. There's this quote that I heard a long time ago, and I don't even know where it came from. And so if you know, put it in the comment section, right? But it goes like this: everybody needs somebody sometime, and someone needs you now. I heard somebody say that. And, we've heard everybody needs somebody sometime. I think there was even like an old song about that or something. But someone needs you now. And I would encourage you, just pay attention, look around. And is there some way that you could help somebody in just a really practical way, not an extravagant way? Like I said, something simple like, do you have a neighbor, it's trash day? You could roll the trash to the end of the yard, to the street. Just simple things. There's something that you could do to help somebody. And so I encourage you, let's do more good. Let's do more good together, and jump on board and come along for the ride. Thank you for watching. We'll catch you next time on Let's Do More Good.